Hello, welcome to today's episode of Female Farmer Rancher is a fucked beep. I've been in a really bad mood the last like 4 days, and you know, I'm apologetic to the people around me because like I can't help myself. I'm like super crabby, and I don't love humans, to be honest with you. So I've decided to document this because I still need content, and this is still a job, and I'm still working. So here's my content. I am spraying musk thistle, and you know, everybody has an opinion, and a lot of times I don't actually go into great depth about what I'm explaining and doing because I don't care to hear your comments because you guys are kind of blankety blank sometimes, and I just don't actually care to hear it, so I just keep bare minimal. But I think I'll like go into a little bit of depth on what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So here's my educational frame. First off, I have this nice tank behind me with these stupid ass ratchet straps, and it's just obnoxious. I'm using this nozzle on a hand wand, and in the past years I'd have a gator set up with like a bar on the back that has like a massive amount of nozzles, but here we are. This year I do not. I think next year we'll probably just end up doing a lot of it sprayed by aerial. So there's that. We go into this big debate on how much wear and tear it uses on your four-wheeler and versus how much like the easiness of just hiring it done by plane and the efficiency, all of the good stuff. So anyway, this is what I got going on this year. This is what's happening. This wand is leaking, and it's really making me very angry because I just love fresh chemical on my hands. And there's probably going to be a bunch of comments about how it's not safe, like, I don't care. So just refrain yourself. If you can help yourselves, please just hold your tongues, or your keyboard warriors, or whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, so musk thistle. They're a biannual plant. Basically, the first stages of them, they look like little like sandbird patches, essentially. If I find one, I'll go ahead and show you. And I'm kind of late to the game, to be honest with you. It's like the end of June, and they're getting to the point where they get the whiteheads on them, and you've basically messed up, and they're like past the point of killing, if you will. So I'm gonna try to lock my brake. And so the second year, because they're a biannual plant, they just sprout the fuck up. They just sprout up. I gotta work on cursing. I curse a lot. They just sprout up. They just shoot right on up their second year. So it's ideal to get them their first year when they're babies and they haven't shot up, but a lot of times people can't identify them because they're still short and little and not really like massively obnoxiously in your face like these are. So then we were just talking about like the safety and importance of like holes and like the weight distribution on the ATV, because shit like this can happen. That is why aerials are sometimes beneficial, because of that goes on with all of this. This is where we're at. Okay, so we're back in business, and I'm a little less sassy now that we're reconstructed here. I'm trying to be educational in this, and I'm trying to not curse a lot either, because it's just not the right thing to do. So anyway, as I was saying, thistles are a biannual plant. They start out small, looking like kind of like a samber plant. Like basically they look like this with their pointy like leaf-like things, except for in a smaller version. And then the second year they pop up, as you can see in this finely healthy, growthy thistle. A lot of times people, when they're new out here spraying in the wilderness, keeping pastures clean, they confuse the thistles with a different type of thistle, a Canadian thistle, which, you know, I'll see if I can find you one, folks. And I don't know how to help people other than tell you, don't be an idiot. Just figure it out. I don't know. I'm watering my flowers. Making sure they're extra girthy. So, chemical time. You might ask, what is in my tank? So, in order to buy, I don't even know which chemicals, actually. I used to work at the co-op, and in order for people to buy chemical, you had to have a license. Do I have my license? Yes. Do they expire? I think every 3 years is when you have to go get them renewed. So, I've got Grazon in this tank, and Grazon is notorious for thistles, and it's also notorious for being kind of a pricier chemical. But to be honest with you, I had a recipe wrote down in my kitchen that my uncle gave me, and I lost it. So we just asked our guy to give us a recipe. So in this chemical batch, we have Grazon, and we're in a 30-gallon container back here. And so we have 3 cups of Grazon, 3 cups of 2,4-D, and 1 cup of, it starts with a P. It'll come to me, folks. What the fuck is it called? It starts with a P. I might have to look that up. So I can't remember, I'm drawing a blank. And 1 cup of Preference. And this is in our mighty fine tankaroonie. Right now, cows are watching me as I try to educate you folks on spraying musk thistle. Cheers. Canadian thistle. Musk thistle. Canadian thistle. Musk thistle. So I'm out here trying to educate, and I'm a little less frustrated now, and I don't know what else to tell you other than like spraying thistles is super dangerous because the weight distribution on a 4-wheeler is not the same when you have an extra 30-gallon tank on the back full of fluid. So, like, super dangerous actually. Like, people die and stuff. So, just have to be very careful. Holes, you know, all sorts of things. Super, super careful as you go through the wilderness looking for thistles to spray. So I'm just like kind of vlogging as I go, and I'm gonna tell you the things as I think of them. Like, so sometimes people mix chemical with a dye, so when you go to spray the thistle, you'll know where you've been versus where you haven't been. We don't do that, but some people do. Oh, but some girls do. Anyway, so there's that. I feel like my recipe that I used last time had superb in it. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 90% sure it had superb. I don't know. I also kind of think I ran into some poison ivy or something because I'm starting to get hives on my chin. I don't know if you can see them, but I can feel them. But, yeah. So, out here looking for the thistles. I can kill them. Yep. And then sometimes you run into a wild mulberry tree and you resist the urge to snack. But you keep spraying. Adios, thistle, sayonara, hasta luego. And then in the great wilderness we spy the deer. Ever so curious about me? Why, hello! Hey. He has got to go!
I'd like you to meet the farm cat, Fred. This is Fred. Fred likes to eat food out of the dumpsters. Fred also hunts mice around the grain bin in his spare time and fights off raccoons like it's his day job. Fred the lion. Fred's such a handsome cat. Okay, making him famous.
So then you end a successful day of spraying thistles with a shower to rinse off all of the chemical. Okay, so that concludes today's episode of Farming with Female Farmer Rancher, or ranching, or whatever you would like to prefer. So anyway, yeah, that was kind of choppy. I'm probably just going to put this all together, and you're just going to have to, like, deal with the unedited stuff and the combined bubble of whatever that is. Yeah, so I think that's it. Thank you for watching. Nobody died today, so we're good. I'm going to go in and shower, because I'm covered in chemical. And gonna go have some supper. Okay, thank you for watching me. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for supporting me. Don't forget to do all the things. Instagram, TikTok, True Fanz, blah, 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 all the stuff. Okay, I love you guys.